All right, so the software that I use to record on is called Reaper, and I would not suggest Reaper in the very beginning. I got this for like several reasons, but in the very beginning, I was using Audacity, and it works just as good. And there'll be a link down below. So let me show you my setup. So let me kind of come over here to my microphone. So I have a mic stand. Here's my script, and then in front here is called a pop screen. And then I have my microphone. So on this microphone, it's considered a cardioid microphone. And the good thing about this mic is kind of falling down. Let me kind of tighten up my stand. It's kind of loose. So the good thing with this microphone, this type of microphone, is it only records right in this area. Okay, so right in front of this, it does not pick up any sound behind it or above it, which is great because if there's outside traffic noise, it won't pick it up. This is a pop screen right here. This kind of helps a little bit because I do have a stutter, and it's called like my S's and my D's. Sometimes it will make a popping sound on the mic. So this is a pop screen, and it stops that. And so I have a mic stand here, and then it goes on down in here into my mixer. You don't have to have a mixer. The reason that I have a mixer is because when I bought this about 15 years ago, they didn't have a lot of microphones that attached to your computer. And the ones that they did were very, very expensive. So at the time, long time ago, it was cheaper to buy a mixer and a microphone than it was to buy a USB plug microphone, but that's changed now. And then that mixer goes into my computer, and then that goes into my software. Again, in the very, very beginning, you don't have to have this big setup. You can use a simple microphone. You can use a very inexpensive microphone. Here's one right here. This is called a Blue Snowball, even though it is not blue. It's black. But again, this is a USB. I think you can get them for like $50, $60. And then this is the microphone that I use when I'm recording my screencasting stuff. For example, like if I'm going to walk you through how to build a landing page or a sales page, or I walk you through the process of building your website, this is a microphone that I use, and that plugs directly into my computer. But again, in the very beginning, get Audacity, something inexpensive. If your laptop has a mic to it, just use that in the very beginning, because a lot of times you can use your mixer inside your software, recording software, to make your voice sound better. So again, you can do it very inexpensive. I would recommend that, especially in the very, very, very beginning. And then you can buy some other stuff, so you can buy the stand, you can get this, a better mic, and then a mixer if you want that. And then again, that goes into my computer. If you want to invest some money, I would really recommend investing in a good microphone first, and that's the most important part. So let me show you here in a second how I record and how I edit in the software. Again, every software is going to be different, so I need to record this MP3 audio for my hypnosis for weight loss. And so let me record that, and then I'm going to come in and show you how I will edit that and add in the actual binaural beats and the subliminal messaging and all that stuff. So let me record, and I'll see you in a second. All right, so now we're here in Reaper. I have laid down my audio track, recorded that off that script today. So this audio is about 49 minutes long, which is not going to be the true end time frame, so probably around 35 minutes. Hopefully, if not, it was too long and I need to cut it down. Typically, I want to make my hypnosis MP3 audios around half an hour or so I may trim some of this part of this out of here. But on this video, it's not to really show you how to use Reaper. It's going to be a basic overview of how I edit things and make things faster. So let me show you. So I did one little edit there already. And so like one of the things that you want to do is I also already edited the front end right here. So I had like a long, probably about a minute where I was setting up and I was still recording. So what you want to do is you want to be sure when you do this is that give yourself a little bit of time on the back end, a second or two, because
Welcome to Turning Point's Hypnosis Center busting.
Because what happens is on the very beginning, you don't want to edit it like right here or like right here. You want to give yourself a second or two. This is actually a little bit short. And then I may butt in some music right here and slide this forward because, again, you want to give yourself a little bit of room on the front end of your audios, because what happens is when someone comes in and they turn on their MP3 on their phone, they're fidgeting with their phone, they're fidgeting with their headphones, they're getting settled in, and you want to give them a second or two to get settled. I also do an intro right here as well, and I do that because for two reasons. The first reason is branding for myself, because you want to make sure that you put your company name on here in case they share it with someone else. And also as well, again, they're fidgeting with their phone, they're getting settled in, especially if this is a audio for like hypnosis or for like meditation. But again, you want to do that as well if you're doing an MP3 audio for educational purposes. I do MP3s both ways. I do one for education. I do a lot of patient education in my office. If you hang out with me long enough in the Next Level Healer, you'll end up doing a lot of patient education as well, because it pays off in many ways. You get better clients, you get better referrals, and it makes your life easier, and the patients love it. And then also as well as I do an MP3 audio for hypnosis that they listen to in between sessions, in between treatments. So if I saw them like today on Monday, they'll be listening to an MP3 audio until next Monday. So like for example, I had some like brand new smokers today, and then I give them 2 MP3 audios. The first one is educational about what hypnosis is, what it's not, and some of the big myths around quitting smoking. And that's about 35 minutes long. And then I do it that way so I don't have to do that every time in my office with every patient. And then also as well is I give them a hypnosis session, MP3 audio around quitting smoking, and they'll listen to that between their first session or their screening and their stop smoking session with me. So again, if you do MP3 audios, you can do them in 2 different ways. Again, for educational, or for if you do like meditation or hypnosis or something like that. So anyway, so here's how I edit this. And again, this is not a long video about how to use Reaper. It's about how I edit things in my MP3 audios. So again, we have a little intro
Welcome to
right
Turning
here.
Point's Hypnosis Center Busting Suites MP3 audio. Do not listen to this while driving or using machinery. Only listen to this when you're safe and relaxing. So again, this is an intro to let people settle in, get ready, put in their headphones, rustle around the covers, get comfortable, and I highly recommend you doing this on yours. So right here, I had like a little edit right there, and honestly, I forgot I was gonna make this video. It's about midnight. I just got home from my clinic, and so I forgot. So I started editing, and I'm like, oh no, I need to record this. So there's one splice there. Let me show you how so if you notice right here on my timeline with my audio, is you'll see some spaces right here, and typically this is a page turn where I've read my script and then I turn the page. That's what this was right here. It was a page turn. And so I can go through and I can kind of look at my timeline and see what's going on. And I can do this, and it speeds up my editing. So if I don't want to listen to this whole thing all at once, I can look at here, and I know I have a splice right here. So I'll go ahead and splice that. Let's just double check to make sure it's a page turn and not something hypnotic. So like relaxing your legs, where I do like a long pause in between my suggestions. Take another deep breath in and let it out slowly now.
Yep, so if you heard that, oops, I'll turn it up. So that's a page turn. Yep. So there's a page turn there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, and again, your software may be different, whatever you're using. Audacity, I forget, I haven't used that in so long. But again, this with Reaper, I would not recommend it. It can be complicated. It's more complicated than Audacity. So splice that, slide that together, and then listen to that.
Take another deep breath in and let it out slowly now. Now focus on the
okay. And so for hypnosis, that's a okay pause and length and time. If you're doing educational, that's too long. So my pauses a lot of time I can get away with because it is hypnotic. And so if you notice right here on my timeline, I can just go here. I can scroll right there, and that's probably a page turn. So let's go listen. Yep, I can hear it. And so I'll pause it. And again, this is a fast and easier way of doing it. And so that way you don't have to listen to 49 minutes of yourself talking. And sometimes I bore myself. It's like, oh my God. It's hard. It's hard. So one of the things about doing this, about making MP3 audios, it's very hard to listen to yourself. And I've learned to do it, but at first my voice bugged me because it's like, oh no, and
relaxing now.
And you notice all your fumbles and all your mistakes and all that. So if you experience that with your own voice, that's natural, normal. It takes time to, when I edit my videos, I'm like, oh, my voice, and I hate this, and my tonality, and all those things. So if you have issues with your voice, that is absolutely normal. So if you notice right here, these like little big marks right here, this is also a way for me to fastly edit all of my stuff. And what this is showing me, so if you notice right there, cruise along here, and then kind of cruising along here, and then right here, this is probably a page turn, but right there, there's a big mark right there. And what that mark is me snapping my fingers. So whenever I make a mistake, or I fumble on a word, or I don't articulate, I'll snap my fingers, and so that way I can see it on my timeline with my audio. And so if you notice, all of these are mistakes, something that I need to go in and cut out and re-edit. This part right here, this is I had issues today with my dog. She was trying to come in. She wanted to come in. She was crying. She came in. She was licking. I could hear her lick on the microphone. It was just chaotic. So I had to kick her out, and we were fumbling, and we were fighting with her right there. So again, this makes it much easier when you do it this way. If you notice all these, this was an area where I made some big mistakes. I was stumbling on words. I wasn't articulating. I was stuttering a bit. And so it just gives me the idea of like when I come in here, I can come in here. Where'd it go? Oops, where'd it go? I can come in here and I can just splice out the majority of this much easier. So I mean, yeah. So if you notice, I was stumbling, and I'll let you hear what I was doing.
It causes you pain, frustration, and adds rolls and pads of fat. You absolutely know now.
See?
You absolutely know now. You absolutely know now. You absolutely know now that this is the time. You absolutely know now that you absolutely know that this is the way that you see your choices.
Oh, I cracked myself up. So at some point, you'll start laughing at yourself because it's just like whatever. Okay, and so if you find yourself doing that, that's what's going to happen. Is you'll at first you're like, and then later on in years of doing it, or like 6 months of doing it, you start laughing because like, oh my God, I was suffering, I was stumbling, it was horrible. So basically, this is how I do my main editing. on my audios. And just so you know, now you've heard me behind the scenes of what I do. So I stumble, I fumble, and it's okay, right?
You absolutely know not.
All right. So when you fumble and stumble, it's okay as well. All right. So then at the end, so I did here at the end here, I did the ending a couple times. And then typically I think I do my ending last the best. So let me kind of do what that sounds like. And if you have not noticed, this is an MP3 audio for like weight loss. And so let's push play.
Great job for being here and listening to Turning Point's Busting Sweets MP3 audio. And great job for taking action on creating the life that you want. So
with that, on the ending, I had to do the ending a couple of times. So I started the ending right here. And so I went through 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I got it on the 5th take. So typically, I only like to do 3 to 5 takes. Anything after 5, I just leave it because it's like whatever. So that's kind of like the actual rule of thumb. We're doing video, especially video. Video, I do 3 takes maximum, and then if I can't get it in 3 takes, it is what it is, because you'll spend all day doing this. So again, this is the basic editing of how I edit, how I can see things on my timeline. So I can just come in here and I can do some fast shortcuts and edits. So let's go back and do one more edit just so that you know how I do it. And again, this is in the very beginning. I was doing good, reading along. And then right here is going to be a page turn. So you just go right there. And I go right there and I'll push that.
Relaxing more and more.
Yep. So I heard the page turn. And then I just go zoom in a little bit. Split that. Do that. Do that. Slide it like that. Easy peasy. And again, Audacity is pretty simple as well. And so I'm going to go ahead and go through this and edit all this. And I don't want to bore you as I edit every little thing. And so that would take forever. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to edit this out. Once this is edited out and clean into one long MP3 audio, something that is acceptable, then I'm going to come in and I'm going to show you how I put my background music in there, as well as my subliminal messaging. So if you do like hypnosis or meditation, I highly recommend 2 things. One of them is binaural beats, and the other one is some subliminal messaging. So I'll show you how I do that here after I get done with this. All right, so I'll see you in a second.